It feels like the world has gotten loud, like really loud.
We do begin tonight with those deadly storms and tornadoes.
Surveillance video just into our newsroom right
Show
here.
of force against Donald Trump's
Breaking
enemies.
news, a U.S. official confirming to ABC News.
Like somebody took a giant volume knob and turned up the volume to 11. Like 11 was finally possible to achieve. You've got on the one hand, the constant 24/7 news cycle that's constantly pushing sensationalized news in our face. These days you have a thick layer of social media that didn't exist before, endless feeds of people's opinions, ideas, beliefs. And add to that Trump 2.0, which takes us to new levels. How are we supposed to manage all this information and sometimes negativity and chaos, right? With our little human brains. Well, I hope to answer that question in this video through my own experience over the past 8 to 12 years. Now, I want to be clear. This is not a political video whatsoever. I am not going to choose sides, dissect politics, dissect policies. That's not my interest here. My interest is in discovering what can be done to stay sane in the midst of all this. So, if politics is going to bother you, me mentioning or bringing up politics because I need to in the context of what I'll be talking about, or the mention of Trump is an issue for you, please click away. I don't want to add to your stress. That's not my intention here. Now, on the other hand, if you're interested in, again, my own journey, the things I've learned over the years, how I navigate these sort of turbulent waters these days, then please stay tuned. There may be something in it for you that might inspire you to create some change in your life. You know, there are many different ways of dealing with situations that are sort of conflicts or stressful and whatnot. One of them is to glom on and obsess over the situation, which is exactly what I did back when Trump became president the first time. I was glued to the TV. My network of choice was CNN. I would do it multiple times in the day so I could see the latest craziness and vent in front of the TV. Okay, that's what I do. I get loud, I get vocal, going, oh my God, why is this happening? You know, I'm that guy who gets very overreactive in front of the news. It was doing nothing good for me, let me tell you, because I would do it thinking that I was staying informed and doing something good for myself. I don't know what I was thinking, but I would end up hating myself at the end of it over and over again. So I brought this up to my therapist, I'm sure, over a number of occasions. And eventually he said, Josh, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you subjecting yourself to the news? It's doing nothing good for you, right? Your life is good as is. Nothing from the outside is affecting you in any real way. Well, he was right. I had to eventually admit that the best thing was to unplug myself from the news, which I did. And therefore, the next 4 years went really well. I felt much more peaceful, much happier, not feeding into that frenzy. And including COVID. During COVID, actually, we were very lucky. We were healthy. We were staying healthy, living on this gorgeous property. We had plenty of online work, so the money was fine. The money was good. Life was good, actually, surprisingly good. So nothing needed to be done other than just live our lives, period. Now, fast forward again to Trump 2.0, and things get heavy again. I find myself glomming to the news again, and this time tuning into ABC World News during dinner so we could stay in touch with US news, and getting upset. And I'm the guy who, again, gets vocal in front of the TV while Cecilia is there having her dinner, not overreacting the way that I do. And on top of it, we're having dinner, and it's affecting my digestion. So this was not good on any level. But there was this love and hate relationship with it that I think a lot of us have with the news, whether it's, you know, the current administration or politics in general, or these days, like I said before, feeds on social media. We want to go to it because we feel that we're getting something good from it. We're staying informed, entertained, whatever. And so that's the love part. And the love part also includes the protest. I was complaining, and that felt good, right? There's juice in complaining. It's like, oh, you know, the world is, you know. But on the other hand, I was feeling shitty every single time. And so I had to realize that unplugging from the news, once again, was going to be the best thing. But the difference is that now there's a lot more going on, right? I mean, you've got economic situations, you got tariffs, you got potential inflation. Things can be affecting your money, AI, which I haven't even gone into, can be affecting jobs. You need to stay in the know to some degree, right? Because your life could be impacted. And so I couldn't just plug my ears, close my eyes like I did the first time around. This time you have to pay a little more attention. I got into this sort of organic way of getting my news, where you're in charge of the news, not the news or social media in charge of you. A quick pause to thank BetterHelp, the sponsor of this video. Their support, and yours by extension, helps me to continue creating content like this, the writing, the editing, the shooting, all of it. Now, I have to say, and you've heard me say this many times before, therapy has been truly a huge part of my life. It's on one level what helps me to stay grounded in the everyday, and especially during these more troubled times. Talking to someone on a regular basis helps me to connect with myself and better navigate life's inevitable challenges. Whether it's the state of the world, or adjusting to a new culture, the way we've been doing for a number of years, or just staying centered in the midst of all the things that normally happen in life. BetterHelp makes that easy. They've got a big network of credentialed therapists, and the whole thing is designed to be flexible. You can do video calls, phone calls, even just message if that's more your thing. And if you're not vibing with your therapist, you can switch for free anytime. If you've been feeling anxious or overwhelmed with everything that's been going on, this might be of real help. I know that it has for me. If this is of interest to you, use the link in the description below, or just go to betterhelp.com/beneath the surface. Not only are you helping this channel grow, but you also do get a nice 10% off of your first month. Thank you once again, and let's get back to it. I would, and I do, get sort of the main headlines from Cecilia. She'll tell me, oh, have you heard about, or my boys might bring something up. And then I choose whether or not to engage, right? I might be curious and say, okay, tell me more about that. I might go and look it up if I really am interested on a topic. But I can also have the choice. Well, let's not go down that rabbit hole. I'm not interested in pursuing it. It's not good for me. I honestly think that we can live our lives very organically that way. It's the people that we engage with, going to the store and seeing how prices are moving. Just the basic goings on of life will inform us as to what's going on. I think that's usually enough. I personally check the markets from time to time, every few days, to see how the markets are doing, how the euro to dollar exchange is doing, because that affects me. And I want to know, do I need to do something with my investments? Do I need to bring money over to France? This is a good time. All the basics that kind of inform me so I can be in touch, in tune with things without stressing, without needing to overexpose myself to what's going on, if that makes sense. And I believe there's a lot to that. And I recommend trying it because, again, going to sources, right, openly to these feeds and to these news cycles ends up being sort of a gorging, right, a consuming of too much information because we get carried away. It's meant to entice us to consume as much as possible. The networks want ratings, all these avenues of information want ad revenue, and so they're designed to take us in, get us addicted so that they can get their way. And so we end up gorging, we end up consuming way too much. That is definitely not healthy. It's like consuming anything too much is not healthy. And so by us choosing and pursuing the news we want to consume, by being selective, we have a choice. We're in control. We don't let the outside, those entities, control what we're doing. We choose when and where we do it. I think, for a lot of people, there are certain conflicts or situations or causes that they're very interested in. And by all means, if that is something that applies to you, then yeah, you search it out. In this day and age, it's like we have an insane amount of information to access, all sorts of independent sources, and we can go pick and choose things that interest us, that we want to pursue, that we might want to be a part of, contribute to, etc. Another very important aspect that I talk about endlessly on this channel is a quiet sitting practice that I highly recommend to anybody, whether it's 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at the end of the day, multiple times during the day for 5 or 10 minutes, as much as you can do. And that comes from practice. You sort of increase the time as time goes on. You get better at it. That creates an internal connection, internal space, a quieting of the mind, a way to sort of make decisions differently because you're more in tune with yourself. you are able to navigate things, whether it's new social media or personal conflicts or anything in your life, right? That quiet space makes all the difference in how to better navigate things, how to find a better version or best version of yourself, you could say, because that ends up being good for us, for those around us, friends, family, coworkers, and for the community at large. I really think that's the answer to world peace, if you will. Listen, I don't think the world is going to stop having conflict in situations. Right now, it is louder, admittedly. It feels that way. But the world isn't going to stop doing its thing. I think as humans, we're on this earth playground to have all sorts of experience. It's supposed to be this way and hopefully learn from those experiences. So I don't think any of that's going away. The onus is on us on how we're going to behave with respect to it. That's the way to control anything. It starts with you putting yourself in a position of saying, how am I going to respond to the situation, right? What's my best position in this? And I think then that spreads and that creates a calmer, better world. I don't know. I mean, I really do think that that's how it starts and that's how it grows. So on the one hand, we can obsess, glom on, protest, complain, be very negative about it, add negativity and noise to the noise, and get violent potentially. This leads to violence. Or we can, again, just use this as an opportunity to connect to ourselves and to be better humans in the process, in the face of crisis, adversity, what have you. So I really do see it as an opportunity. Anyway, I just want to say that even in spite of the news, or because of the news, we're thinking a little bit differently. One thing that we've been meaning to do, a silver lining, I call it, is gardening. We've been talking for years about really getting down and dirty, no pun intended, on growing our own fruits and vegetables. It's pushing us to finally do it because with prices rising, with inflation looming potentially, it's a good idea to grow your own stuff. And also for a whole slew of reasons that we've been talking about for a long time. Getting outside, doing physical work, having proximity to fresh, delicious, untarnished food, not having to go to the store periodically, which is a pain in the butt. And so it's helped accelerate that aspect of our lives. And I think that in a way, that's what this stuff can do, right? It could be very dark and negative and we can obsess and hurt ourselves, or we can choose to respond differently, find other alternatives for the way we're living and things we're doing. So yeah, that's my bottom line. That's what I'm doing. And again, it's a work in progress. It really is. Every day I have to remind myself, don't watch the news. Navigate the world this way. Don't give in to these external forces. Turn inward to really understand and process better. But yeah, so that's really my take on this. I am dying to know from you guys on this particular video what you think of what I've said, whether you agree or not, whether you can relate. What things have you done for yourself? What's worked for you in navigating some of this craziness? Please leave a comment. And of course, as always, like, subscribe, share. That always helps the channel a lot. So appreciate your time. And with that, I'll see you next time.